Hello one and all! This is my review, reaction, and cut discussion of Dr. Stone's Science Future Part 2, Episode 7, and last we left off, the Kingdom of Science, with almost no help from Senku, managed to actually make diamonds. Real freaking diamonds! Seriously, that is impressive! Though, as you may have noticed, and as many people pointed out on Reddit after last episode, these diamonds, they are way too small to fit inside of the Medusa. So how exactly are they going to scale this up? How exactly are they going to make big freaking diamonds? You know, that stuff that would actually be worth quite a bit of money, even in the modern age right now. Well, we're going to see. There is certainly an answer to it. Oh, God. I love people I mentioned Reddit before. I love people online on Reddit being like, oh, well, they're going to jump the shark right here. They're saying they can actually make diamonds by themselves that are that big. That's stupid. There's no way they can do it with their Stone Age technology. Again, Senku has a plan. Trust that the man has a goddamn plan like he always does. Can't wait. Also, for those wondering, we are currently on chapter 183 of the manga, which also has my favorite illustrations of all time. Seriously, Chelsea looks amazing, and I freaking love it! Love her. One of my favorite characters in the series. But anyway, though, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Love Yo, absolutely. Oh, I love that Yo is actually, I was gonna say Yo is being like, oh, with this, I'll be a millionaire, I'll be a billionaire, I can have all the money in the world. Where actually, no, he is just really happy they actually made it from scratch. They actually did something scientific without Senku's help. Good for them. Oh, no, he's still focused on the money, still focused on being filthy rich when, seriously, man. How much value do you think diamonds are going to have in the new modern era? I think people are going to be more worried and focused on, you know, survival than shiny baubles. Though I might be wrong. There's always going to be people who are going to want shiny baubles. Finally done. Yeah, seriously, girl, you should have realized there is an issue with the size right here. She realized it. She knows there's an issue. How are you thinking they're going to scale up this process? Also love Senku and his crew sailing around in a ship coated in death beams. Amazing. It's hilarious. It was like meant to be this ultimate stealth vehicle, but it couldn't be more noticeable to the naked eye. Like, even if they're several miles away from someone, they could still visually see the ship from that distance. The resurrection of the happy Medusas. Yes, we certainly want our Medusas to be happy now, don't we? Personally, I thought they would end the opening scene with Senku dropping the bomb on them, but I guess not. Alright, episode 7, Stone Sanctuary. Yeah, no, man. You've seen the Medusas. You've seen how precise the diamond batteries need to be. It's not going to be that simple, and you should know that. You are a goddamn scientist. They have called you Dr. Chrome. Think these things out a little bit more. Yeah, seriously. It's impossible. You cannot make synthetic diamonds that big with their current technology. It's just not gonna work, guys. Yes, after all of that, after all that work, after all that effort, after all those explosions, Senku is telling them to just, you know, go dig up some natural diamonds. Because, of course he is. That's fair. That is absolutely a fair reaction from all of them. Oh, they are broken. Their spirits are completely and absolutely broken. Yeah, again, that's fair. That is all very, very fair. Yeah, natural diamonds that are uncut. You could fully walk over one without even noticing it. They just look like, you know, shiny crystals. They look basically like quartz. So it's only once they're like polished and made perfect that you really realize like, oh, this thing is worth several $1,000s. Neat. Love this girl. Absolutely love this girl. Also love that only Zeno is unimpressed by watching this. I mean, even Senku's got like a smile. He's like, yeah, this girl's really working. Zeno's like, and that's it. Alright, so, oh god, she is adorable. I love her so much. Yeah, so, oh, they're actually doing this whole rant. Okay, this is why I love anime adaptations so much. In the manga, her rant is this just giant wall of text. And it's funny because, like, oh, there's so much being said in such a panel, but that doesn't really work in anime format. So instead, they're having her change poses every 3 seconds to make this rant seem more dynamic and engaging. That's amazing. I love it. Yep, now they're just doing a full goddamn mining operation looking for diamonds with, what, like a dozen people? Oh, that's wild. Yeah, that's actual diamond. That's what diamonds, raw diamonds actually look like. They are not that impressive until they've been cut and polished. Pretty sure I actually saw a show once where they were able to smuggle diamonds by making them look like just rocks you put at the bottom of an aquarium. Yeah, Chrome's right there. I mean, it makes sense why you might think like, oh, well, there's no way we can recreate the amazing powers of the Earth, but no, we can. We can make all the diamonds we want, and they are better, they are stronger, they are clearer. And yet, a lot of people are still against scientifically made diamonds. I remember seeing a post a while back where a guy posed, and when the girl found out that the ring was scientifically made, she refused to take it. She said it was fake. She said it was cheap, even though it was way better than what he could have afforded if he went with a natural diamond. Oh, I love that smile on his face. Amazing. Actually, that's not really true. A diamond is the hardest thing on Earth, but there is, what's the word again? Oh yeah, a Londelite, which is actually like 80% harder than a diamond, and it has only been found in meteorites. So, I mean, that's stronger than a diamond, but yeah, Senku's mostly right. Basically, a diamond is the only thing that can actually, on Earth at least, a diamond is the only thing that can actually cut another diamond, and since they now have scientifically made diamonds, they can cut the naturally made ones and form the perfect shape to fit inside the Medusa. That is such a wild thing to say. Make sandpaper out of diamonds. Like, I know they use synthetic diamonds to make drill bits and saw blades and stuff, but to make sandpaper out of it just seems so wild to me. I love how this dude would be completely and utterly insufferable if it wasn't for his complete and total fear of women. Seriously, it makes him just feel so much more human and so much cuter, and I love it. No, he really isn't. God, I love this guy. Alright, bye-bye. That is such a... Seriously, they're all focused on Joel being afraid of women that they barely even realize what Senku just said. Yeah, really. I mean, they can't have Stanley, tracking them down through their radio communications, so they just have to, go radio silent until they're ready for the final moment, the final confrontation, until they actually have the Medusa ready to activate. Oh, good old Zeno. Always has a plan, always has a way of making things worse. Seriously, why did they not tie up his hands while he's on the ship? That seems like it would have been a, good idea. Yep, there he's going. He's setting a signal. He's doing evil, nefarious things. I love that Chrome never bothered to ask. He's like, I know we're running away, but is there like a specific destination in mind for us? Yeah, let's not forget, this whole process, the whole war with Xeno is just part of their master plan to build a goddamn rocket ship to go to the moon and do battle with mysterious Y-Man. Yep. Xeno has always known exactly where they were going, which is going to explain something we're going to see very, very soon. I mean, that being said, though, I feel like Senku, maybe a smart move on Senku's part to go somewhere else, like, Araxia, whatever, Araxa is a really good place. It is probably the best place. But is there, a second best place you could think of where Xeno wouldn't expect you to be going? That might seem like the smart move right here. Especially after that. Yeah, Senku saw that. Senku realizes that Xeno just sent a message. He basically magnetized his finger to just send something to his team, so that's bad. That's bad, bad, bad. And Senku could get out of this just by going somewhere a bit different, but that is certainly not his style. I love that this isn't even Morse code. It's not like, SOS or, hey, heads up, this is what's going on. It's just telling them, like, hey, something is wrong, and I need to communicate that with you, and Stanley's gonna be able to fully figure it out from that alone. These two are way too close. Yes, radar jamming, stealth ships, anti-radar missiles. Again, Stanley figured out they have one of those three just from being told, hey, something's up. I love it. I absolutely love this man's instincts. Even though those suggestions are all fully and completely insane, he still figures like, okay, it must be one of those. Yeah, never say never. I wouldn't put it past them. Actually, in the manga it says, zero, not when it comes to Senku and the junior science brigade of his. This is perhaps the first time that Stanley is really recognizing Senku and his team. He's still calling them the junior science brigade, but still, he's recognizing they can do things that shock me, that surprise me. They can do things that I wouldn't expect, therefore I will not underestimate them any further. He is, in a way, starting to respect them. I mean, I think he should have respected Senku after, he survived being shot by him. I don't think there are a lot of people in this world who can say they survived a fight with Stanley when he was literally trying to kill them. Yep, right there. Right freaking there. I know a lot of people online are gonna bash Yoga like, oh, they should have figured it out. They should have realized this is what he was doing. Well, yes, but at the same time, they were also being shot at, so they weren't really in the position to just wait around or think things through or do anything like that. Hyoga's only thought was, okay, I need to find a way not to get shot at, and his method was putting Xeno right there. Yep, they just built an elevator, which, physically is not that much different from the ropeway they did before, but something about it going down is so much more terrifying. Wait, are they going down or are they going... Oh, they're going up. I thought they were going down in the manga. Okay, that is way, way more terrifying. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's literally been given the most important job perhaps in the history of the world. If he can do this, if he can figure this out, if he can create the power supply for the Medusas, and they have literally scores of Medusas, that means that power will be in the hands of humanity for the rest of eternity. He is literally causing a revolution right here, right now. Yeah, right here. This is Senku declaring we are in the end game of this arc. This is where we're going to have our final battle, where we are going to hopefully defeat Stanley. Oh, God above. Seriously, the rest of the season is going to be insane. Utterly and absolutely insane. Alright, and with that, we are now on chapter 184. Fort Medusa. Oh, I'm excited to see this. Yeah, this is basically how panning for gold works. You put some dirt in, you put some water in, you shake it back and forth, and the heavy stuff, like for example the gold, goes to one side, so you can very easily find it. I've actually done this a few times. The family is a big fan of the show Gold Rush, and so we've actually bought like packs that are just like, oh, real Yukon gold. You shake it up, you put it through the pan, you do all of that, and you can find some gold. Not like these big, huge, massive nuggets or anything, but some flecks, some specks, and we keep it all in the one little jar we have. It's really cool to look at and realize, like, hey, this is real gold we found ourselves. I love it. Honestly, I want to do some, like, actual, like, in-nature gold panning. That sounds so fun. And the manga actually says, I might not even know how to spell science, which is so much more hilarious, but, you know, this is her moment. This is her big moment right here, where she talks about the power of humanity, how we have been building up our scientific skills again and again, passing it down for literally millions of years, and that is why we are where we are right now. This is the realization that she has come to thanks to Senku, thanks to all that he has managed to show her since they met on that fateful day. On that day where... let's not forget, she tried to kill Tsukasa because she watched him kill the wizard. And then it turned out the wizard, aka Senku, was still alive, and he managed to use the power of science to pull a huge log off of her. Oh, that's amazing. Seriously, I want to go back and like rewatch the first season because it's crazy how far we've come. Genuinely crazy. And right here, we can see the light in Zeno's eyes, the thing we only see when he is truly happy, when he's truly focused on science and the beauty of it. Kawaku's words have actually managed to touch him here. Though not as much as Taiju. I love this man, he is a big lug. Actually, manga, he says, I bet the planet's hyped for us to use all these sweet rocks. He also didn't hold up a giant boulder, but it is just so Taiju. In fact, in the manga, everyone was just a little bit upset with him for kind of ruining the awesome, cool mood that she had created. But here we go. This is Fort Medusa, and I love it so much. Seriously, how long have they been building this thing for it to be... Why do they have perfectly squared rocks? Did they build a rock cutting machine to make the rocks into the perfect shape? Or, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, they clearly used some sort of cement creation to make the gun holders, but... Seriously, this is massive. This is a massive project. I mean, this feels like... you know, Revolutionary War fort that you would find still standing around somewhere. And yet with a team of, I'd say, less than 10 people, they managed to actually build all of this in a week? I think it's only been like a week or so. And despite the fact they've been working on it this long and they've built it up this much, Senku still hasn't explained why they're doing this. There he goes. Now he's explaining it. And everyone is very surprised. Yes, obviously Stanley's gonna chase you here. Stanley's been chasing you all across South America. Of course he's gonna chase you there. You should be scared, Luna. You should be very, very scared of Stanley. Especially because you kinda betrayed him. I mean, I know he left you to die, but still, you kinda betrayed him. Yeah, really. So Senku was planning on eventually having a big final confrontation with Stanley here in this spot. That's why he's building the fortress. But his hope was that, they'd have reached a more stable condition. They would have Medusas. They'd be ready for combat. They'd have something they could actually use against him. But right now, as of this moment, they do not. And that is bad. That is very, very bad for them. It's the reason why Senku wants to lure him out here eventually. They can't keep getting chased by Stanley forever, and Senku's next destination is Europe? I can't remember what city he's planning on building next, but either way, that's across the ocean, so they need the Perseus. They need their ship back so they could actually do that, and right now, they don't have it. Oh no! Yeah, this is another reason why the battle against Stanley getting pushed ahead is bad for Senku, because Hyoga and Tsukasa were freaking shot by him, and they still haven't, fully recovered from those bullet wounds. I mean, I know Hyoga had, armor on, but still, it hurt. It really hurt, and his arm is still wrapped up as a result, so yeah, now is not a great time to be in a fight, especially when your opponent has a bunch of semi-automatic machine guns. Yeah, Max is a bodyguard of some sort, so he knows how to work a gun, but does he actually have a gun on him? I'm not sure about that. I mean, even if you guys were, in prime condition, do you think you would have a chance against a fully equipped U.S. commando? Again, these guys have machine guns, and you have spears and swords. I know in kind of like a wooden environment, around you, your weapons would probably be more convenient because, you can hide behind trees so the enemy's attacks can't hit you. But even then, I don't really like your odds in a fight. That's really all they can do right now. Practice throwing Medusas at the enemy and, triggering them as saying 30 meters, 3 seconds, throw. And hope they don't end up blowing themselves up as a result. Blowing themselves up, petrifying themselves up, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately, his arm is not really all that good. Love this. Love this thing he built right here. Oh, it is amazing. Yeah, he basically just turned the Medusa into a grenade, into a landmine. I love it. I absolutely love what this dude can build when he gets inspired. That being said, though, it could end up, being activated by wildlife, so it might not be the smartest thing. Also, these are trained soldiers. I feel like they would be prepared. They would be on the lookout for landmines. Even if they didn't expect them, they would still be looking out for them. Yeah, and they just casually built a diamond polishing water wheel in however long it's been since they set up this fortress. Honestly, that's the kind of thing I would have really loved to see them build, but I get it, they're in a hurry, they're in a rush. We can't focus on things like that when, we're in a freaking war against Stanley right here. This calls for Kaseki's beast mode. God dang, that man is... He's a lot. He is a lot, I will say that. Yeah. As much of a skilled craftsman as Kaseki is, and he really is amazing, his tools, his style, his design, everything he's learned for the entirety of his life is focused on, working with things much larger than the Medusa. So actually taking one apart, actually being able to replace the battery inside one is just not in his wheelhouse. And of course it's not in Kohaku's wheelhouse either. She just keeps smashing the things with her giant gorilla strength. It is a bad idea. The idea you have right now is a very, very bad idea, Taichu. I can guarantee you that. Yep, that is his idea. His plan is to run straight at the platoon of armed soldiers. Because how could that possibly go wrong? I love how shocked they all are because, yeah, I mean, seriously, if you were to actually do that, if Taiju were to actually do that, I feel like it would be so stupid that Stanley and his team wouldn't actually know what to do. They would just be kind of frozen, like, is he doing this? I think he's doing this. Is this part of a plan? Do they want us to shoot him? What's happening here? They would still shoot him, but the confusion would probably stun them for a second or two. I'll just tough it out, even if they shoot me in the head, which they definitely will. Here we go. Here we go. This is Chrome's idea. This is Chrome's terrifying and brilliant idea. This just again proves why Chrome is really the star of this arc because, oh god, I love it. We'll all self-destruct together. I mean, that's one way of putting it. Yeah, Stanley realizes he knows exactly what he's talking about. Up to this point, they've been trying to figure out, like, okay, how can we possibly set up the Medusa in such a way where it petrifies our enemies but not ourselves? Chrome is thinking, hey, what if we just petrify ourselves? What if we, make sure we get Stanley by getting ourselves too? Yeah, we'll be caught in the blast, but at the very least, we'll have taken down Stanley and his team. Love her. I absolutely love her. I mean, this is another of my favorite panels in the manga because it is this giant, massive explosion with Suka just in the corner, in the background, watching it all play out with the food she needs to survive a couple days and their vital fluids so she can go back and wake up everyone on Team Science. Yay! Love that. Absolutely love that. Especially just because of how ticked off Stanley looks in this scene, even as a statue. Yeah, here we go. This is it. The Watchtower. This is where the Medusa they build will rest, and where the order will go out. Petrify us all. Freeze all of us. Turn all of us to stone, so that we may defeat our enemy through mutually assured destruction, essentially. This feels way too over the top. They have literally like 30, 40 mics all set up everywhere just to make sure that Stanley is definitely petrified. Just to make sure the order can go out to everyone. Just to make sure the order can go out from literally anywhere in the fort. They probably even have one in the bathroom. Which I find hilarious. The wretched calamity that wiped out all of humanity has been turned into their guardian angel. I love that. I absolutely freaking love that. There we go. After so much trial and tribulation, Kaseki has finally found a way to remove the top of the Medusa so they can reach the battery, put in a new one, and activate it. My extreme patient grits, and yeah, those definitely look like different tools than he was using before. I'm assuming Senku built them for him so that, or I guess he could have built them for himself, so that he could work with much smaller materials. Also, the microscope probably really helps, especially with his old eyes. I love that. I know this dude was like fully willing to petrify himself just to test things out. And also Joel, just so adorable. But yeah, both Kaseki and Joel, two craftsmen from wildly different worlds, are now trying at the same process. They're trying to figure out the same problem, trying to figure out where exactly the other one is going wrong. I mean, I said the parallel, but seriously, they are making the parallel really freaking obvious right here. Oh god, they're even using the same tool. Oh, I love that. And that's really an important point. Often you think, oh, there's no news, that's bad news, but no news is information. It means that something has happened. It means they have not been able to figure out some part in the process for some reason, meaning they need to rethink what they already know. And for Katsuki, that is a goddamn pep talk, or that is at least as close to a pep talk as Senku can possibly give. That is him really being a nice guy, more so than usual. Also, I love they are just basically recreating this shot from the manga here with everyone popping up in text bubbles. That is such an awesome little detail, and I love it. Yeah, seriously, Luna, you are, I think, literally engaged to the man, and he has not said a whole lot nice about you either. Again, Chrome, you are so helpful this episode. You keep pointing out things, you keep making grand investigations, grand discoveries, and you keep realizing things like that are so key to moving forward. I'm hella awesome. Again, love this man. There we go. There we go. That is it. Again and again and again. Every diamond of the actual Medusas, they split right down the middle. It is part of their design. There is a crevice cutting through it. And that is something that Joel didn't notice, that even Kaseki didn't notice until Chrome pointed it out to him. This is the secret to the Medusa. This is what they need to know in order to recreate the thing. A cleavage point with a weak atomic bond. That means nothing to me. Literally nothing, except I guess there is a slight hole in it. Of course, as they're doing it, Stanley and his crew are pulling up on shore. They are really, really close. Alright, so that's the end of the episode. They did something interesting here, where they ended it partway through a chapter. Normally most episodes are 2 chapters. In this case, it was 183, 184, and the first half of 185. And that split definitely does make sense for what happens next, because things are about to change just a little bit, and oh god. Oh, I forgot about that panel. Oh god above. Okay, so there's going to be a very interesting scene in next week's chapter. Holy mother of God above. But yeah. So this episode, let's skip ahead. Let's see what the post-credits, or the next episode's called. Next episode, What I Once Sought to Destroy. Oh yeah, we're getting into that, aren't we? Like I said, next week is going to be the true start of everything, the start of the finale of this arc, and it is going to be just more insane than you can possibly imagine. I'm almost shaking just thinking about what we're about to see. But alright, so for this episode, they figured out what was wrong with the diamond batteries. Basically, there's supposed to be a cleavage plane in the center of them, which is what the energy or whatever it gets channeled through. And until they do that, they can't create the new Medusas. But now they know that, they can do it. And if they could get word to Joel without Stanley finding out, Joel could do it too. They are on the path. They are this close to creating the Medusas, to being able to recreate the most powerful anything in the entire universe. They are about to have the power of almost a god in their hands, and I cannot wait to see it. Of course, Stanley and his team are also on their way to kill Senku and his entire team to rescue Zeno, so that's not great. It really is a race against time. Can they create the proper battery? Can they charge up the Medusa before Stanley arrives? And it's certainly going to be close. It's certainly going to be close, and I cannot wait to see it. Also, I loved Stanley this episode. I know I don't usually like Stanley, but I love the fact that just, again, from, hey, something's up, just the fact that there was a signal from Zeno, he realized, okay, Senku and his team, they probably built a stealth ship, and we should go the other way to catch up to them, because Yeah, that worked. Somehow that worked, and his intuition is not only insane, but his bond with Zeno is insane. Also, speaking of insane, they built a fort. Oh god, speaking of insane right there. Wrong panel to shift to, but yeah, they built a goddamn fort. It looks like it was created during the Revolutionary War by an army of soldiers. They did this in just a week or two. It's insane. But yeah, so big plan right now is for them to activate the Medusa. Well, first for them to fix the Medusa, then activate it as soon as they spot Stanley and his gang, and just petrify everybody around them. And hopefully then they can have Suka, who will hopefully be far enough away not to get caught up in the blast, rush back over and save everyone. Huzzah! Alright, so yeah, I'm really excited for everything. Oh my god, I cannot wait for next. I know I say every week I can't wait for next episode. In this case, I truly 1,000,000,000% mean it. It is going to be wild. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a little bit questionable at one point. And I don't think the anime is going to go light on it either, considering what we've seen before. But yeah, let me think all this down below. Until next time, peace!